Yeah. Can I go to a store that has both?
What do you mean both?
Can I go to a store that has that and a GPU that I can purchase?
GPU?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Yeah. Camera stores will typically not sell you computer stuff. And computer stores will not generally... Sometimes they will sell you cameras. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think Canada Computers, actually, they have like a thing where they have like the popular camera models on sale.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they would have this one, though.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Probably good to check out.
Yeah.
How's the... which GPU you have? Cheers.
Oh, it's pretty fucking good.
Cheers, buddy.
That's exactly what I needed. 3080 Ti, which is the...
Two generations ahead of mine.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
1080.
didn't I give you the
1080 Ti.
Didn't I give you the 2080? What did I do with that?
No, you gave that
I
to
sold
Emil.
it.
Yeah, you gave
Oh,
that to
yeah, I
Emil.
sold it to Emil. Yeah. Yeah, so you have... Do you really have the 1080?
Yeah, I have the 1080.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's been
But the
a
1080
long
Ti,
time.
actually, when you look at it, a lot of people like rave about how good it is. And
do you know what I'm
people
going to
still
do?
rock it.
I'm going to see if I have the motherboard that I can have 2 GPUs.
There's no benefit to that.
There is.
No. Like, there's actually no benefit to that anymore. The whole thing of, like, SLI.
It was for mining. Really.
Yeah, well, yeah, mining. And then before, like, when SLI was a thing, there would be GPU bridges that you could buy. But he'd have to have the exact same copy of the GPU. It couldn't be different.
Couldn't be two different ones.
Too.
Yeah, it can be like a Zodiac.
But performance optimization for that stopped a long, long time ago. Nowadays, people just get
new GPUs.
Just get the top of the line.
I could probably get $500 for that 1080.
You could honestly, yeah, you could still get quite a bit of money for the 1080 Ti if you just clean off the fucking smoke and fucking weed residue off of it.
Yeah.
But for real, like the 1080 Ti.
You got to talk a little bit louder on that one.
On this one, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The 1080 Ti is like a very sought after GPU in the marketplace.
Yeah. What was your most exciting win of the year, Hector?
Win?
Yeah. Excluding obviously Sabrina, but what's the biggest win you got this year?
I'd say landing the Parker job was pretty big.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big one for sure.
I think the biggest physical win for you was getting your knee injured.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was
Yeah.
the biggest win because now, how often are you hitting the gym?
Yeah, 3 times a week without
Three
fail.
3 times a week, and if you keep that up, man,
Yeah.
like you're a busy guy, so like that schedule works for you. But if you ever have to fight some demons, you probably have to up that couple days a week. But I tell you, man, like I actually wanted to get a workout in with you today, just to like see how you're doing.
Yeah, when you mentioned that the other day, I was like, yeah, let's pick out a day to do that like soon during the week or something.
Because P. Diddy thing, bro, it's coming back. LeBron's out of the game.
What do you mean LeBron's out of the game?
LeBron's been out, bro. LeBron's been out. He just came back like last week. He's been out of the game with some personal things.
Yeah.
Personal.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's been he's been abandoned. He's been P. Diddy put him in a corner and told him that he did some shit in the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. So Jay-Z got named. No other big names have dropped yet, but P. Diddy's deposition or his fucking trial hearing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, isn't that in March?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what everyone's waiting for because as soon as March comes down, you're probably going to see a lot of names fall.
Bro, I think if I had to guess the next few people that are going to get named, one is going to be LeBron, one is going to be Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart?
I think so, bro. I think these guys are gonna lose their immunities in the black community.
What the fuck?
That's my personal belief.
Yeah, I'll find out.
All right, but I think those two cats are gonna get named. And the thing is, like this P. Diddy thing, I was listening to the podcast with 50 Cent on Flagrant 2.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying he's like I've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
He's like I've been saying this.
Mm-hmm.
He's like P. Diddy will come out with rappers on his record, and they be dressed the same, like couples. He's like, this is crazy.
Jesus.
And he's like, pull it up. They pull up a picture of Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Literally, exact same t-shirt, a polo shirt, Versace one, with a fucking vest, and him and P Diddy are holding hands, and they took a picture of this, and he's like, I've been saying this. He's like, I've been saying this for years. He's like, in the rap community and the rap game, I'm the crazy guy that's been saying these niggas are fucking gay and doing some foul shit. And he's like, every time P Diddy he would always say some like borderline gay shit by accident on interviews, and nobody would correct him on it. And he's like, I've been saying this. He's like, P Diddy would like always say some weird, creepy gay shit on interviews, and nobody would correct him on it for years because it was just Diddy.
Interesting. I remember seeing a clip that because people now with all this have been going back into old interviews of celebrities that name drop Diddy and like those interesting moments. And there's one on the Graham Norton show, which is this gay English comedian, and he's actually got a pretty good, like, pretty popular show out there. And who the fuck, Liam Payne.
Oh yeah.
You probably saw this one
saw
too.
that
Liam
one.
Payne's talking about like not a creep, but like a weird moment with P Diddy. And then Salma Hayek's there. And then I forget the celebrity in between. There's Salma Hayek, someone else, and Liam Payne. And as Liam Payne is recounting this story, you can see like the visual discomfort in Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
And like everyone else around. Like, because Liam just like telling it how it is. But everyone's like almost like, yo, like don't be saying this too loud, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, fast forward to however long, Liam Payne is, off the map.
What is he doing these days?
Dog, he died in Argentina. He was the guy who fell off.
Fell off what?
Yeah, he's the guy who fell off the hotel balcony.
Like
2 months ago, maybe. Or last month, even. He's from One Direction.
Who cares?
I mean, who cares?
I just, this is the thing. Like, I wouldn't be able to keep up with that kind of info. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're...
Even if it was local, I'd be like, who? Liam Payne? One Direction? I don't care. Like, well, okay.
You're not, okay, this was something I gotta say, because you're not the only guy who says, it's like, you're not special for not paying attention.
No, I understand that.
You know what I mean? Like, if a headline comes across that is in the news, like,
Right.
it's just there.
And
Like,
you
if you're running on the gym treadmill, right? Because, I know this for a fact. It's like, gym treadmill's got global news, CT, all like the bullshit. They're not going to have fucking Breitbart news and Rebel news. They're going to have fucking just like your mainstream news. So when you're fucking running on the treadmill, fucking fighting your demons, whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
If you look up and it's this big headline like, oh, so-and-so dead. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right? That's like, that's basically, it's there, right? And if you don't want to pay attention, okay, fair enough. But you're not
think,
special for not paying
I don't
attention.
think it's that I'm special. I just think I'm like your dad. If it's not somebody that's significant, I'm like, But like if it's somebody I grew up with, an idol, somebody I looked up to, I'm like, okay, that's one thing. But like, you bring up Gilbert Gottfried, if he died, I wouldn't be like, oh no, Gilbert Gottfried. But like, I grew up with De Niro. De Niro dies, I'm gonna be like, damn, De Niro died. You know what I'm saying? It'll be significant to me. But you come up to me and you're like, hey, Shakira's hips don't lie no more, and she's dead. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, Shakira. You know what I'm saying? I just don't.
It's not like, oh no, I'm sad this guy died. It's like, okay, it's sad, but it's like,
I just
whoa.
don't think I saw the news.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, homeboy's like
Yeah.
barely 30 and he died. It's like, kind of suspicious.
And off the ledge, bro. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
That's like some
It was
Hitman
kind of
shit.
news for it because it was kind of weird. We're like, hold on a second, this guy just jumped off a fucking balcony.
Yeah, I saw this one interesting one, and it was basically a movie that I watched last night. It's called Glass. You should watch it.
I've heard of Glass.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix. It's about these 3 dudes that have some type of significant superpower, but we wouldn't, in the traditional sense, call it a superpower because they're not inevitably immortal.
Yes, okay, I remember
right?
this one now.
But they do have, one is like schizophrenic that has this one version of himself where he's like a beast. Another one, he breaks, his name is Mr. Glass, he breaks like he's got like some disease where he's got like osteoporosis or some shit where his bones are like shattered, super brittle, but he's very intelligent. He can scheme and scope and shit. He got this guy, another guy that's supposed to be like a retired cop who like fights crime. This guy and the schizo guy's dad were on a train like 19 years ago. The schizo guy's dad dies. The schizo guy's mom starts abusing him.
Yeah.
And then somehow this Mr. Glass guy got him to believe that this cop is the reason his dad died. So they're like fighting while this guy's like the overlord, and they're all in a psych unit, right?
Interesting.
And basically, the whole psych unit, collected there by the government just to be able to kill them, because the government knows that there are these people with supernatural powers.
Yeah.
Essentially, the film kind of antagonizes the government or the elitist class that controls and gives out these narratives of, okay, these people killed each other and they were evil and there's nothing out there for the public to further investigate. And I think that does happen. If you look at politics, how come nobody, I'll give you a good example. When Iraq and Iran were going to war, Saddam was in power and Khomeini was in power, right? The French placed Khomeini in Iran in 1979, and the Americans placed Saddam and Gaddafi in where they were. And they killed both of them. Why? They were friends up until a decade ago.
Yeah.
How did that change, right? What changed? They found out that they have natural resources. They found out that Saddam has a bunch of gold. They found out all these things that are valuable to them, and then they change the narrative, right? I have a video that I'll send it to you right now.
Okay.
And it's basically who's the Israeli guy?
You're talking about Netanyahu?
Netanyahu.
Okay.
I want to send you this.
Sure.
Point is that if we don't see the threat of militant Islam, then pretty soon militant Islam will bring down the World Trade Center.
The West really doesn't understand militant Islam. So I wrote a book in 1995, and I said that if the West doesn't wake up to the suicidal nature of militant Islam, the next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center.
Nice prediction there, just a bit of psychic, was he? Like it's got Israeli fingerprints all over it. And with any of that sort of stuff, you just got to say, Q bono, who benefits? And the only people who benefited from 9/11 is Israel, and even Benjamin Netanyahu said that as well. So the one thing we are benefiting from at the moment is the attack on the World Trade Center.
Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq."
I mean, they do these false flag attacks all the time. How much evidence do people need? And what would be the benefit for the Arab world blowing up Twin Towers? I mean, how have they benefited from this? Have a look at Iraq. Have a look at what we've done to the Arab world since that event happened. And look what Israel has got from that event happening, and ask yourself, who benefits?
The American government rounded up 200 Israeli.
These 200 operatives that were caught during 9/11, that all had the same radio engines that were connected to each other with complete compatibility, with floor plans, with transmitting devices that were all caught, and then they were subjected to the CIA and the FBI off the local police and never talked about again. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, conspiracy this, conspiracy that. But this is literally local information anybody can look into right now. And, the fact of the matter is, I'm not a Jew hater, but the fact is, listen to me. Could Hitler been wrong? Abso-fucking-lutely. Hitler could have 100% been wrong, okay? But if you got kicked out of 109 countries, maybe you're the problem, okay? Listen to me. You might have a girlfriend that's like, yo, my ex used to beat me. And she had like 2 other exes and they didn't beat her. And you're like, okay, cool. Your ex was the problem. But if you had like 10 exes and they all beat you, dog, I'm sorry to say you're the problem. And that's really what's going on here. It's like, it's not the Jewish culture. It's not the Jewish race. What it is it's Jewish government, Israeli government. They're not good people. They don't have good intentions. They call us Goyas. They feel like we have to work for them. Like that's their religious, deep-rooted religious belief, is that if your mother's not a Jew, you're not a Jew and you're a Goya and you have to work for the Jews. That's a deep-rooted belief. You can't tell me that they are good-spirited people having deep-rooted beliefs like that. If you told me that Catholics are deep-rooted child molesters, how can I take you seriously as a human being?
Wow. Okay. Anyway, so today, I'm just kidding.
I think Parker's owned by Jews.
It's a publicly traded company. Bunch of whiteys up there. I looked at the board of directors. It's actually a woman director of the board.
What's her last name?
It's not just some fucking white.
It's not a Jew.
No, it's very whitey. Anyways, was
It's not Goldman Sachs.
the Jewish okay, so the one interesting thing about what you said is you're like the Jewish government, like that's the problem. Jews didn't have a government until after the World War because they didn't have a nation until after the World War, right? They were just a people. And this goes back to what we said before, where it's like Jews being a race. That's a new ideology. That's not
the same people that control the government right now are the same people that controlled the religion back.
Yes,
They're
and
very
no.
deeply
So, like,
correlated.
I would wonder. I'd have to talk to some more educated Jew haters to figure out some more information here. But what I find interesting from like a historical like information context is
That they've been kicked out of 109 countries?
well, the whole been kicked out is fine, but these were people that up until 200 years ago were not considered a race. They were identified by their religion, but if you talked and you asked them like where they're from, they would tell you, "Oh, I'm from Armenia. I'm from here. I'm from there, whatever," and then they would divulge their family's history more into generations as to say where they're from. But back 200 years ago, they would have never said, "Oh, I'm Jewish. That's my race. Like that's my ethnicity." No one would have said I'm Jewish because as an ethnicity, Jew did not exist. As an ethnicity, they would have said where they were originally from. Like, "Oh, I'm from the Middle East," or "I'm from Western Europe, Eastern Europe. I'm from here. I'm from there," whatever. So I find that very interesting from like a historical context. Like, sure, they were kicked out from different places, and that's whatever, but they were never kicked out as like okay, we don't like your ethnicity. Like it was different, right? So the newfound hatred for Jewish people, the one that started in like World War II, maybe even a bit before that, like the early 19th or 20th century, because like 1900s. Zionism, so that concept of Jews being a race already existed back then. But if you go up to before, back when like the Jews were persecuted in like the 1700s, the 1600s, the Middle Ages, the whatever, they were not considered a race.
Right.
Right. So that's what I find really interesting about all that stuff. The Netanyahu speaking out about World Trade Center is interesting. I would have to double check to see if what I'm thinking is true. But if I'm not mistaken, there was already an attack on the World Trade Center before 9/11. Like in the 90s, there was already an attack. It didn't kill that many people, but there was already an attack.
No, that's
in like the mid 90s, where the fuck it was.
I think that's public knowledge. I think this is 96, but
96. Yes. So the World Trade Center was already seen as like a target.
Yeah, but this
at
is
that
just to give you some context.
Yeah.
This is a video of Netanyahu prior to that event,
Okay,
calling that
interesting,
event.
because I would
Calling any event
That's
on.
what I was
yeah.
thinking about, where I'm like, where in the timeline was that speech by Netanyahu with regards to the first World Trade Center attack? Because if it was right after, I'd be like, yeah, well, no shit, dude. They attacked it once.
Yeah.
Probably want to attack it again. But if he did this in like the early 90s or something, that's suspect.
It's a little bit suspect. And
That's
the other
suspect.
thing is, I think any country that has a person in a dominant position for far too long is going to be corrupt.
Mhm.
So the one thing America got right is a 2-term president.
Yeah.
But one thing they got wrong is a 2-term representative for all leadership across the country. So we're talking whether that's, as far as perfecting the craft, it would even have to go as deep as cartels. it would have to. It would make sense for it to go there. It would be for the benefit of the cartel to go there, because the more one person stays in power, the more they turn into a dictator.
Yeah.
You look at any czar. You look at any Stalin, Lenin, anybody, Che Guevara, Fidel, anybody. You look at them, and if they have more than a 2-term, whether that's a 2 5-year, 2 4-year, 2 2-year, it doesn't matter. As long as they're instated and then moved on, and then the same cycle happens within the culture, within society, another person's chosen.
Yeah.
But that moves things in a powerful society in a powerless way, because once you're done, you're done. You don't have a say no more. You can be in those circles for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure guys like Obama are.
Yeah.
But you're not the face of the nation. You're not making the rules. You're not making, legislation based on that. And I think that's probably a better thing. Netanyahu, Putin, all these cats have been up for years. Khamenei, all these guys, bro.
I think beyond that even is not just the idea of staying on for too long, but I think once you remove the possibility of you not being there anymore, I think that's when it gets dangerous. So it's one thing to say, like, you stay on for 2, 3, 4 terms, 5 terms even, or whatever. But as long as during those terms you're thinking to yourself, this might be my last, my next one's not guaranteed, I think that's a better situation than a lot of the leaders that you just named, because all those guys, they don't have like an ounce of a doubt that they're going to stay. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like...
So cocky, bro.
Exactly. And I think that's what leads people to like act out in these weird ways, because it comes from, like, I don't say complacency, but it's that security of knowing that you can basically do whatever the fuck you want and no one's going to do anything to you.
Exactly.
I think if the fear was there that, okay, this might be my last year doing this or whatever, but you still get reelected, I think that would be okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's what I got to say about that.
That's all good and dandy. What do you know about these? I'm just gonna throw something out there, some pilot subjects. What do you know about these quantum computers?
Not much. Quantum computing.
Well, we'll put it for next week.
Okay.
Next time. But I did a deep dive on that shit. That shit's fucking wild. Some AI quantum computers where they have the logic from the AI and the calculations from the quantum. Somebody said a quote like this: if you take every molecule in the universe and you put it towards working towards solving the problems quantum computers solve, you would take light years to solve those, whereas quantum computers can solve those in mere seconds.
Damn.
Random thing, found black tuna at the dispensary. Go ahead and take a sniff. It's not the freshest stuff. It's not the freshest fresh. No, but take a sniff. This is usually
I'm holding
better.
my breath so I get it pure.
Yeah, hey, change it to you, huh?
Oh yeah, right.
You got it.
Oh.
Yeah. Should I make a joint for you and Sabrina?
Oh yeah, for sure. Damn, dude, that's not bad.
It's not the best.
It's not like that shit.
It's not that shit, but that shit was like off the bud. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got it off the mother's womb.
It was still growing, man. It was like,
bro,
it
still had the
coming out of it.
The mother's uteral juices on it, bro.
Jesus.
I'll make a fat one for you and Sabs. What's his face? I think the Lakers are done. I want to quickly go into that. I think it's over for that era.
Yeah, I think this. Well, we knew it was coming.
Yeah,
we knew it was coming, right? We knew that it was happening. LeBron was gonna slowly take time off, and this year I think what the biggest thing was just to get him playing with Bronny, and he did that once, and he's like, all right, I'm
good. He sucks.
Fuck am I doing? yeah, exactly.
He sucks. He ain't that good.
Fucking Nepo baby.
The problem with Bronny is I wanted him to be, who's that white boy in their starting five? Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves. Yeah.
I really wanted Bronny to experience being like an Austin Reeves where you're a starter, but you're a role character and you understand your father.
Yeah.
Because you're not physically dominant like your father is, you're
Yeah.
clearly anybody. Look at anybody who's 6'2". Nobody's dominant unless your name is Kyrie. And he wasn't dominant his first year.
No, he wasn't.
Kyrie was not dominant his first year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could do that. I don't think Bronny's going to be a Kyrie. I think he's going to G League it up and then go live off his dad's money.
I think exactly that. I think his ceiling is
That's it.
going to be recurring 10-day contracts,
Oh, yeah.
and that's about it.
And that's off his dad's name. Once his dad's off the league, I do not think Bronny is going to be in the league much longer. He has no reason to. There's nobody to sway the decisions to move him up. And he's just not going to perform like that. And the thing is, the seasons people think are short, they're long, man. Like these road games
They
and
are,
shit,
dude. They are.
you lose
Yeah.
motivation during these times. And this is where these guys suffer things like going to strip clubs, getting escorts, doing drugs.
The James Harden treatment.
Yeah. So I think with some time, he will no longer have that motivation. And he grew up rich. Like, what kind of hardship did Bronny have?
Yeah, fucking zero.
Like, none.
Zero.
None.
LeBron had to go through. He was like, at least he was living through like Akron or whatever the fuck he was in Ohio.
Akron. But
Akron. Is it Akron or Akron?
No, you're thinking of Akon and Akron.
Yeah, I
and
am.
Akron
I am. I
at the
am.
same
I am.
time.
But yeah, he was in some like fucking shitty town growing up. So like,
Yeah.
at least he suffered some hardship.
Yeah, I mean, not
Contrast
having
that
a
with the
dad.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
All those Diddy parties when you're young. You know.
Jesus.
Yo, you think Justin Biebs got diddled?
Oh yeah,
You think so?
I do.
The problem with
And I actually feel awful for him because he was a kid when that happened. He was like 10.
I don't know if I have those emotions to feel awful for him, but what I think is
Damn,
like
dude, if you're fucking cold, I was a fucking child.
I don't care. But my thing is
Jesus
like
Christ.
my thing is like it's not that I should feel bad. Like obviously if that happens to anybody, you got like, oh fuck, that sucks. But what you know for sure is that person that got diddled, they'll always have something missing.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Absolutely.
anybody
Absolutely.
recover from that
Yeah.
ever in my life. If that happened to you, like, bro, the best thing you can do in life is don't let it affect you. That's the only thing you can do. Because if you do let it affect you, you're just another statistic. Because everybody got affected.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I think after you get diddled, you probably don't think of yourself as much of a man.
Yeah, no,
And there's a lot of
it does a lot to your psyche there.
there's
for
a
sure.
lot of aspects that go into your psyche, exactly. But I think ultimately it's like how you get out of that, man. I think if you can get diddled and get out, bro, it's your time. If you can get diddled and get out and be like successful, like you're turning into Elon, and I got diddled. yo, this guy is
Hollywood loves a redemption story.
this guy is Jesus.
Yeah.
Like everybody came down. Like, have you noticed all the celebrities come down? They're like, yo, I got diddled.
Yeah.
Like, I'm successful now,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
got diddled.
Yep.
That's the ultimate fucking story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who was that guy the last big guy that said that was Terry Crews. He's like,
Terry
yo,
Crews. Yep.
I'm big.
Yep.
I'm juiced.
Yep.
I got that BBC. But yo, listen to me. Back in like 2002, some director groped my ass.
Yeah.
It's like, and then like everybody kind of looked at him like Smolier, like, yo, what are you? You're 280, dog. Like, turn around and tell him not to. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know. But yeah, I think it's fucking hilarious. This whole P Diddy shit, man. It's
Let's see that the Luigi, the Mangione, United Health, the guy who popped him. He was being held in the same prison as Diddy.
interesting. I wonder if
Yeah.
they're feeding him to Diddy.
I saw some memes coming out.
Some
about
booty
that.
meat. Some booty meat for
about
Diddy.
that. But yeah,
Diddy
I
must
don't
be the scariest guy to be cellies with. Diddy must be the scariest guy to be cellies because he's so dark too. He probably like, because I've been in those cells at night. They turn off the lights and shit. That
Yeah.
that motherfucker could be anywhere. Like if you're bottom bunk, he could be on the bottom of the top bunk just looking at you.
He's just hanging above you. Like
Yeah. Hey Hector.
Fuck.
Just fucking giving your nose a lick because you know that's the first thing he touches
Jesus.
on the way down, right?
Christ.
But
Were there? Do you remember this? Because I saw a clip the other day of There was a reporter standing right outside of the prison where Luigi was being held at before he got moved, because he just recently got moved. I don't know if you saw this, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
But originally he was in this prison. I don't know where. I think it was a state pen. I don't know. Anyways, the reporter's standing outside, and you can hear the prisoners shouting like, "Yo, free Luigi!" Blah blah. All this like shit. Like they all had his back. And as the reporter was corresponding with the host up there, wherever the fuck she was, the prisoners were hearing this because they're watching it live, and then they would respond. So like the news host would be like, "Hey, so can you tell us how everyone's feeling out there?" And then there'd be like a 3-4 second delay because you gotta wait for the signal to get there, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. We whatever."
Yeah.
And that'd be like constant. That was fucking so cool. It's so funny.
Yeah, because the
Were
thing
there
is,
TVs in prison, is that common?
TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. TVs everywhere.
And you just get like the basic cable channels, right? I'm guessing.
No, you get some shit in the
Oh,
feds.
shit, yeah.
Okay, so there's.
I don't know if it was state pen or honestly, I don't
so
remember.
he probably went straight to state pen
Okay.
because taking him to county's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
No.
taking that guy to
Yeah,
county
no.
is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you're asking for problems. You take
Well,
that guy.
he's a
county.
high profile prisoner. at
He's
that
a high
point.
profile,
Yeah,
but
so-
like he's not in danger. The problem is the guys that are keeping him captive are the ones he's in danger with.
Yeah.
It's not the cellies. He's going in there like $1 million. You know, people want to give him commissary food and
that's
shit in
true,
there.
that's
They're
true.
throwing him fucking chips.
Yeah.
You know, they're calling his name Luigi.
Yeah.
Like that guy's a hero in there. You know what I'm saying? Like he had it all. Like basically, his parents were part of the pharma industry.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
His parents were part of the pharma industry, fairly wealthy. Buddy, just like Bronny, soft as fuck, right? Didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
And like he's a rizzer, man. He's a riz god. He went to fucking McDonald's and like flirting with bitches and shit.
Yeah.
Right after. That's the wildest shit. That's how wild this cat is.
Yeah.
He shot a dude in the head, and then he goes to McDonald's and riz some bitches, and they rat him out. Like, bro, yeah, like this is some rap shit. Like I never heard French Montana or any rapper say some shit like this.
Yeah.
I killed this dude, part of the CEO, pharmaceutical industry. Then I rizzed up some bitch at McDonald's. Like this has never been done. So I just think that guy's in danger of himself. But yeah, back in the day when I was in the feds, yard is just like one brick wall away from outside. So if you got a cat on outside talking to you, you're just a brick wall away, and the top is like 10 feet. So it's like you can easily talk to that person. Plus you got these peepholes on the bottom for water.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't rain over there. So you could just talk through there. But yeah, you could totally do that.
It was such a cool clip that I saw where it's like 3-second delay, and then you'd hear their response.
Yeah. No, we're good over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they treating you in there? We want more, or whatever the fuck they asked for.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, there was some pods that guys were marshals, so they were doing like, you have to do 2 life sentences or more to be part of the marshals, and they were oranges, so they're there for life.
Okay, yeah.
And like some of those guys had mad money. Like those guys in there that like we would see in the hallways, and we'd get to know over time. But Buddy was like, there was one guy who was doing 11 life sentences, and he had so much dough that they would let him do skip the dishes every day.
Jesus.
So he would get whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
And he had a phone in there.
Yeah. Speaking of phones, you know.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, it's Rebby. Call again. Anyway, so long story short, we were in there eating like fucking boiled carrots, and this motherfucker was on skip the dishes. It was wild, getting Dominoes and shit. Like, yo, what's that smell, bro? What's that fucking smell in there? And then it's like Buddy's like fucking, there's like 3 stacks of Domino's pizza with a 2-liter coming in there. We're like, who the fuck is getting that?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, even in prison, bro, there's a difference. You know, I think in every stage of life just reminds you that there's a difference. There's a difference between you and other people, and it teaches you something else. It teaches you that wherever you're at, you can get better. Because even in prison, this guy was living like better than people out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you can get there.
Let that be a lesson to you.